Good day, everyone. I was reading an opinion piece on News 24, and the headline for this opinion piece was "The Dangerous Myth of Zionist Colonialism, a Response to Manjra and Doji." So it's someone responding to an article that two people wrote, and this person is obviously pro-Jewish. He's probably Zionist based on the article, but in one of the comments below this opinion piece, I read something that I really wanted to respond to because this is super important to understand. And someone said, yeah, Jews have been living in Israel for 2,500 years. What does that suggest? And, you know, to me it's disingenuous when you say things like that and you don't understand the concept of land ownership. And land is all about conquering. That is all it is. And I've mentioned before in the 00 Days meetings that I held around the country during the COVID-19 pandemic between 2020 and 2021, that the person in a room filled with people where everyone has exactly the same gun, that the person that's willing to pull the trigger is the most powerful and will conquer. It is that simple. And at the end of the day, land is about those that conquer that land, those that are willing to fight for that land and overpower those that live on the land, or people that allow others to live on the land that they occupy. And that can change at any moment. There is nothing in world history, not the United Nations, nobody that can stop that from happening. If someone chooses to try and grab land, then someone has to have the power to stop them. The person that's willing to pull the trigger is the one that will conquer, that will win, that will instill fear, etc. So when it comes to the state of Israel, not the people of Israel, the state of Israel, it was given to those people, or very meticulously to Sir de Rothschild, by the British government, who had conquered the land. This is important to understand. And anyone can go and try and conquer that land now. When Israel has allies like the US and maybe other countries too, then those countries can decide to stand with Israel and try and protect the land. And if they do not, anything can happen to Israel. If someone like Iran has said that they will take over Israel, destroy it, remove them from the land, and they do it without resistance, there's not much that Israel will be able to do if Israel is dependent on weapons from Europe, etc. This is just one example. This goes for Africa, Asia, anywhere. If someone decides that they want to conquer land, you are literally sitting and playing a chess game. If you look at certain countries that are not acknowledged by China, if those countries are not supported, for instance, by the US, for them to remain sovereign when they are not acknowledged by the United Nations, for instance, the only way for that country to remain is for the US to protect them because they have a strong military and they're willing to pull the trigger. So the one thing the US has proven throughout its history, it's willing to pull the trigger. It's even willing to explode nuclear weapons. And I believe that they did that at the behest of Israel. And I'm not going to go into the details of that, where the decision was made, how the president of the US came to that conclusion that those weapons should be used at the time. The main thing that's important is that they were willing to use it. And if you want to take land somewhere, the only thing that's giving you pause is someone else willing to fight you that's stronger than you. And if you know that person's willing to fight you, it's a deterrent to taking the land. But most of us owning land, for instance, here in South Africa where I live, it's given to you by a title deed, by a governance system. If that system falls and some foreign country overruns it, you don't own that land anymore. It means absolutely nothing. So you need to be able to defend the land that you have while you have it. A lot of people in war-torn countries have lost their properties, have had to walk out and leave it behind. So our fragile world is exactly that. Fragile when it comes to land ownership. So for someone to say that someone has lived somewhere for so long, I could say the American Indians lived in America for so long. What right do they have over the land right now? They were conquered. People came there that had stronger weapons, etc. How you feel about it, whether you think it was right or wrong, is irrelevant in this instance. What is relevant is that someone is willing to conquer your land and take it by force. And if you don't have the force to counter that person and their conquering endeavors, you are going to lose out. It's that simple. And this is what has happened in the world. You know, the United Nations was supposed to go and draw borders, etc., to stop these conflicts with regards to land. And within Israel, there are pockets of land that is super important to people with ideologies, religious ideologies, fulfilling of prophecy, etc. They believe that they need to still conquer pieces of land that will absolutely put the Middle East into a war situation. And the Al-Aqsa Mosque is one of them, and even the King of Jordan said he will go to war against Israel if Israel should touch that mosque. Now, that's a line in the sand that they have drawn. And I can tell you, the people in Israel are planning to take over that land. And whether you like it or not, it's going to cause chaos. So, to say that someone has a right to any land is bull dust. There is no such thing. You have a right to land if it's given to you under a system. And a lot of people will moan and bitch about many systems or things within the system. I complain about how we elect our leaders and that we need to change that system of governance. But I do believe in governance because it gives people the right to own a piece of land. It does give you a title deed that is worth something for a period of time until someone decides to conquer your country or your land, in which case, if you aren't strong enough to resist them, you are screwed. And this is the simple and plain truth. So when people quibble in parliaments around the world, in senates around the world, etc., about this person that was in the land so long ago, like in South Africa, the Khoi and the San communities who have been marginalized in a big way, the truth is that they were conquered. And that's the end of it. It's that simple. And even although I might feel sorry, etc., the people that did it, I can't do anything to stop them. Even today, I can't do anything to stop them. Those people will still control the narrative because they have the means, they have the funds to get people with weaponry to defend their positions. And whether it's large corporations, whether it's people in government that deploy the South African Police Service that is used as a police force, especially during COVID-19 pandemic, against the citizens of the country, then the people in government are protected because we don't have a government that serves the people. We have a government in South Africa that want more and more power. So this is the reality. Let me just make it plain and simple. You can tell me in the comments what you think about the reality of people owning land or having a claim to land or a right to land, because no such thing exists. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to this channel, click the bell icon to get notifications for future videos, and do consider liking this video, and I look forward to seeing your comment. Thanks so much. Till the next video.